We appreciate you and we thank you for being with us today. We're just waiting for everyone to kind of come over, then we'll get started. For anyone who doesn't know, I am Nadine, and I am one of the founders of the Be Well Experience. We are super humbled and happy to have you with us. We have had a full day. Some of you guys have been with us since this morning, early, bright, since 9 a.m. So we do appreciate you. We have had, like I said, a full day. So far we have gone through our physical wellness pillar, our mental wellness pillar, professional. We did some finances. We got a little music break in there. We just finished up with communication, and now we're about to go into our community wellness pillar. And so I'm just going to be in the background, letting people in. We'll wait a few more minutes as people are like ending one, coming over. But I'm going to toss this over. So I appreciate this gentleman who's on the call with us right now. Stephen and I went to high school together. And so we have a long history. Every so often he likes to toss out like how I motivated him, but I'm so proud of him. And like, he's constantly a motivation to me. He is an extraordinary poet and wordsmith, right? And he's an educator and he's a giver. And so he is with us today. He's also known as Definition. I'll let him introduce himself and share a little bit about what he's going to be presenting today.
So first and foremost, peace, everybody. Hope all is well. Peace and blessings to everybody. Happy Saturday, December 12th, 2020. I just want to welcome you all. And yes, April is just a dope individual and all right. So really quick.
He done went with my full government. See, so that's how you know we've known each other since we were like babies.
Right, and there's stories behind that. But yes, so I appreciate the love and the introduction. Just really quick, I am a high school teacher, I'm a poet, I'm an MC, and I'm part of Plugna, which is part of my neighborhood organization in Flatbush. So it's not just I do work, but I do involve myself in the community. So in a nutshell, that's who I am. And we're gonna get into all of this wonderfulness. So it's great to see your faces, whether it's live or you have a background. So yes, welcome to that. And I hope you've all been enjoying your day so far. First, I just want to open up if there's any questions, any comments, any concerns before I get into our writing activities for today. Anything that I need to know about you, anything that you're interested in, just so that I can help better deliver the best to you today.
I'm gonna toss a question out to you guys. So when you decided to come here to this workshop today, what was your thoughts? What was something that you wanted to gain?
That's a great question. As I've gotten older, I definitely learned not to have like expectations, because sometimes I could lead to disappointment. So my thing was just show up, and whatever I can offer and whatever I can take away, I'm all for it. So I came with no expectations. I just came to just experience and enjoy and just connect with people, really. All right, it's quiet, so I guess folks are good. I'm gonna jump into it. First thing that I want you all to do, take a screenshot of this. These are gonna be our quick free writing rules, and notice I put them in quotation marks or rules. I'll read them out, and if there's any questions, I'll cover that. But then if there are none, then we'll just jump into it. So first, there are no rules. So low stakes, no stress. When I say rules, first, there are no rules. However you write, or just engage in that. Two, don't try to write badly, but give yourself permission to do so. I'm not going to explain that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but if there's any questions, let me know. Three, to what extent you can think through your writing rather than before it. Four, keep your pen or pencil or marker or whatever you have, keep it moving. If you run out of things to say, write about how weird it is to run out of things to say until new thoughts arrive. And then last two, silence your inner critic to suspend judgment, and don't censor yourself. Before I move forward, questions, comments, concerns about any of those free writing quote unquote rules? I'll leave it up there just in case, because I never fails. There's always that, oh, wait, one. So I'm gonna leave it up there. Questions, comments, concerns about that. All right, it's quiet. I'm going to take it as you all got it. If I need to go back, I'll go back, but it seems like you all get it. All right. I'm going to open up with a very short piece, literally like 30 seconds. In all meaning, there is conflict. And beyond this, the words get lost in the artist. And without struggle, there is no progress. So more or less, the truth is in the context. All right, so let's get into this, y'all. Here's some topics. The day a child was born, the day your faith was shaken, the day you made a decision to give up something or someone you love, the day you were turned down, the day your hope was restored, the day you lost a loved one, a day you laughed through tears, a day someone surprised you with kindness. Or if none of these topics fit your fancy, you can literally write about anything. The page is your canvas, it's your world. You are the creator, whatever you want to put on page. Those are just topics, those are just suggestions. I'm going to put that out there. And I actually hope that you, April, take one of them. And then we're going to just free write again based on these topics or whatever you want to write about. And then I'll have it where we share out. How does that sound, folks? Okay.
I'm
April,
gonna ask Veronica, are you with us? Can I get a thumbs up? You ready? Okay, I can't see the other two ladies. I don't know if you guys are able to put in the either in the chat or if you have the little reaction. Can we get a thumbs up? Are you good to get started?
and just April, how much time should I put on the clock for the free write?
We have until the 15th, so 4:15. So how long do you think would be good for people to kind of just be in their thoughts? You think 10? Is that too long?
I think, yeah, 10 minutes is good, and then we'll share out.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. Oh, somebody messaged something. Okay. All right, so I'll put 10 minutes on the clock. Free write if we need more, by all means, but here goes the 10 minutes, and let the pen go.
Welcome, Tina. If you're just coming in, right now we are doing a free write. There are some topics on the screen. And so we ask that you just take a paper and pen, pick a topic, and just write what is on your heart.
All right, y'all, that's 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I know Tina just got here, so you can still write, free write, whatever you need to do. I'm gonna open up the floor. By all means, let us share what we have. And all I ask is that at the end, we give each presenter 2 positive pieces of feedback. No constructive criticism, no evaluation, just 2 positive feedback. So I'm opening the floor. Who would like to be our first volunteer?
Caroline, I think it's between me and you. You have a preference? I guess I'll go first. So this is what I wrote. Okay. A sense of control left me. Plunge into all that I knew, clinging to a wheel I could not steer, explaining to God that I was okay with this decision, a decision that I thought was death, only to arise and to see death again, but this time in her eyes. It became clear death was coming, yet God had brought me from death. Would he take her from this fate? Was it faith I needed, or was it just her time? I already learned that I controlled nothing. The decision was not mine, nor would I be by her side. Mom is gone. A sigh of relief. The pain had left. She was with God. Letting go. Understanding death is just a thing. To live, we must all see. So I live, and I relinquish control to my higher being, unafraid to be here right now and create in this moment, to breathe in this moment. to be in this moment?
I was trying to look for the hand clap emoji. But yes, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. First, thank you for sharing that, right? I know it's not easy to talk about something so near and dear and vulnerable. So two positives, just really dope that you were sharing that and that you were authentic and vulnerable in your space. And I love the fact that you were just in a determined and faithful individual and that, you left it up to the Most High. Like, I don't control, but I'm willing to follow along with based on what the universe kind of, I guess, expects from me or bills for me to go through positive and negative experiences to get me to where I need to be and be successful as an individual. So shout outs to you, April. Really dope. We appreciate you sharing that piece. Okay. Well, and remind me her name, April, because I can't see names the way my screen is set up.
We have Carolyn or Caroline, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, and Tina.
Okay, so Caroline, if by all means, if you want to share something, I suspect Tina's still writing. I know you got here a little later. Would you be willing to share something, Carolyn or Caroline, however you pronounce it? And welcome back, Veronica. Or welcome back, Veronica. I see your audio is up now. So would you like to share out, Caroline or Carolyn?
Nope, I'm just here for moral support.
Okay, that's totally fine too. That is totally
But
fine.
I'm benefiting as well. Thank you.
Hey, if you are, that means April's doing her job. That means I'm doing my job, and we're all happy. So, by all means, that's cool. Veronica, welcome back. I know you had to step out. I left the screen up just in case people wanted to pick any of those topics. April shared a piece about the day she lost a loved one. Very moving and touching piece. She'll definitely follow up with you on that. Do you have anything to share, or should I jump in?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. I'm just listening.
Okay. And that's fine too. That's fine too. So we got a couple of observers in the crowd, and we're good with that. We're good with
Yes, I'm
that.
not a good writer. I'm not good at writing. I know you hear a lot of people say that, but I truly am not good at writing my thoughts on paper.
So you know what? And I don't know what your availability is, but if you are willing to have me as a coach, I can guarantee you will reverse what you just said in that you'll be like, writing may not be my forte, but I'm actually pretty good at it. But I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting that out there.
Really? Oh boy.
I've been teaching English for 12 years.
A
So
miracle.
this is about that. Yeah. I always say if you can speak, you could write. That's if you could speak, you could write.
Okay.
That's the conversations I have with my uncle too.
Um,
But yeah, so Central Observers, I'll do a piece, a free write that I was writing in the midst of the 10 minutes. I picked the first topic just because it was the first one. So it doesn't have a title yet, but here we go. The day he was born, security was low. He smacked the doctor on his behind and said, I'm going to change this world. He saw through his mother's belly button the whole time he was in the womb, some Nas fetus type shit. Saw how this world was corrupt, Trump making it despite his lack of political experience, despite his keeping blacks out of his buildings, despite lying to a child in Home Alone, despite grabbing women by their private parts. Bore witness to the alternative facts, seeing super spreaders on Capitol Hill, wished he could become a bill like the cartoons daddy watched. But anywho, he birthed himself out the womb on Joe Biden's born day, applauded the essential workers and Kamala's being the trinity of firsts. So what it was, a bloody mess, a new life replaced the latest, soul squeezing into heaven. His parents struggled to name him, but thought something royal like Akhenaten would suffice. He became the greatest leading 45-minute lessons as a high school sophomore, creates bridges out of popsicle sticks just to prove recycling creates community. He'd be so ahead of his time. It's almost like as if his parents didn't date yet. Excuse me, his grandparents didn't date yet. Somewhere between completing his biology homework and studying the stock market, he'd find a way to save his people. And that way he'd be written in the future holy scriptures, no needing to self-publish. The question is, world, are you ready for such an individual to travel your terrain? That's it.
So we go around and we give you two compliments. So for me, just the use of imagery and being able to follow the trajectory of your character, and the power that lied there, right? So it was just like all these things are happening, but I am a powerful child, person, being in this space and understanding power. So I found that really beautiful.
Thank you, much appreciated. And humbled by that, by the way. I was like, I gotta do something. I'm pulling from different things, and I'm like, because I'm like, I'm not gonna ask somebody to do something I can't do. So I definitely appreciate that, April, for sure. Tina, you got anything for us?
Veronica just unmiked. You were going to share, Veronica?
Oh, no, I was going to say that was very good. That piece was very interesting, enlightening. I enjoyed that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Carolyn here. I just wanted to compliment you as well because what you're doing is important. Writing is very important because I was picturing a child being born at this time, and the young people can't really grasp the history of our people. It's not so much documented like so much of the rest of society. So writing something like that and having that to share with your child or whoever the child is, uh, and giving them that snapshot of what was going on when they came into the world is priceless. So, I think you're emphasizing the importance of writing is good for us all here.
Ashe, you nailed it on the head. I mean, if you aren't already, just the way you spoke about it, you can honestly run sessions about writing itself. Like that was very insightful, and I appreciate not just the compliments, but the deep connections that you made. Yeah, and I totally agree. Our history needs to be written, it needs to be shared. And I say that not just as a writer, but as a teacher. Like I covered the Tulsa massacre with my juniors this year, and they were like shocked that they never learned anything like that. So I totally agree with you, and thank you for that as well. We still got 15 minutes. Does Tina have anything, or shall we do another free write, or do you want me to share more poetry? Because I definitely have more. I hear that there's some observers in the house.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said the Tulsa massacre. Were you referring to the Black Wall Street?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I definitely use that language. I know some people say the T-Town riots, but yeah, that was a massacre. You wiped out one of Black Wall Streets, because there were many, right? But that one particularly was in Oklahoma, but you wiped it out all off of a lie that Dick Rowland sexually assaulted and raped that white woman elevator operator. Yeah, because you're racist and you're just ignorant and whatever. You wiped out a town. So I use that language. I don't like the riots. It really was a massacre.
And they actually changed it because it was Black Wall Street. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was born there. And they have changed that T-Town to make it digestible because it was not the T-Town. That's for Tulsa. But that was actually the Black Wall Street, which a lot of our children and people do not know that history. they were thriving community, the Black Wall Street, the people down there owned all their businesses and things like that. And like you said, of jealousy and that, and wanted to oppress us, they got rid of it. So I really don't like the fact that they changed to T-Town. Say what it is. It was Black Wall Street because there were Black people on there that owned everything, their own businesses. And it needs to be really highlighted and really taught to our children and to others. And some adults are not aware of that, to keep that history alive, because it was very powerful. Just think if we had that today and passed that down, where would we be? You know, so we'd be in a different state, definitely a different state of mind, because it would have been something passed down through generations. So I appreciate that.
And I think that ties into like just our thought of community, right? And when we're thinking about like writing and community, and us telling our stories, right? Because when someone else is writing this story, we get kind of erased from the narrative, right? And then the way they tell this story is totally not factual, right? And removes our humanity, removes like your brutality, right? And so the more that we are able to share our voices and share our stories, the more that we can pass that down to our children and create these communities. That doesn't have to just be in our ancestry, right? So if we were able to create community and ownership and keep wealth, right? We are able to do that, right? So what are we doing now to create those systems? Yeah, definitely.
I share to both of you straight up and down, and that is so true. And I think just to make that current connection, April, like when you're like, what are we doing? I think that what you're doing is part of the resolution, like creating a space of Black entrepreneurship, connecting with our people, having these different very important events, mindfulness, uh, yoga, um, financial literacy, the arts like this, which the arts are very important. But having all of this, I think you're doing it. And this is what we could talk about it or we could do it, right? There's that African proverb, the only way to chop down a tree is to chop down a tree, and you're doing that. And I salute you on that.
So we still have 10 minutes. So what do you ladies, mostly ladies in the room, what do you ladies need? What would you like to do with our space and our time?
Yes, I'm here to, yes, service that. If you want to hear a particular poem or writing or whatever, like since we're in the arts, like I write a lot. I'll do my best to supply that.
I'm gonna say share some more pieces because you definitely have some powerful pieces. Maybe there's some pieces that maybe could move some discussion.
Okay, let me stop share just so I could find this particular piece, because as decent as my handwriting is, I still prefer to read the typed version. So just to preface this while I'm looking for this piece, I actually wrote it at the beginning of like the shutdown. Yeah, it's called the Black Plague 2020 style. Here we go. Imagine pushing through the tiniest clear egg, nibbling it to nothingness for mere survival, then devouring everything in sight, expanding 100 times your size just to hang yourself from your own viscera. Afterwards, you convulse your body, split your head, and stretch your face's skin to cover your nakedness. While ensnared, you digest your old body whole. Following 2 days of feasting, you violently rupture your shell to protect Mother Nature. He was just 7 years innocent, joyful to explore again the Poconos during summer. On holiday from school, he couldn't wait to sprint out the house and ball in the local park. Alone since Big Brother was back home plastered to video games, he walked past two cars strangely parked, the Onyx Oldsmobile not vacate. Another boy just a wee smaller proclaimed, "Look, Grandma, a nigger." Even at 7, he felt embarrassed for them through his grimace. All the summer's wonderful incidences vanished from his young mind. No different a dozen years later, that frail boy grew into a fine college scholar and danced the party into the morn, hit the food courts just before sleeping. With three brown buddies, only him and Jermaine heard two fellows discussing black lives that apparently didn't matter, wondering if their minds were magicianing reality. The second was hateful truth undeniable. Jermaine, ready to fight his college experience away, was fanned back into logic. No innocent, not innocent for each year, there's a clock's marker. Our hero schooled the races, teaching them the difference between niggers and negus, reminding them of melanated royalty and nobility, making them feel lower than brutes with criminal records. The white cashier lauded how he handled the trauma. A decade and a half year later, I keep those same innocent and knowledgeable 19 individuals in heart. With each beast, I teach my younger cousin students the truth. I see them, care them, love them, and pray them into higher existences, harder than wishing Senator Obama into that pearl building. They are targets in this America cocoon. Society sees Medusa in their lovely locks, bloody canines in their growing grins, and targets on their blessed bodies they don't own. Whether too many Skittles, Lucy's, or ganja, they can't breathe, and I struggle to inhale any hope. Beelzebub weaponized the Chads and Karens of this diminutive domain called Earth, turning melanin into prize panther prince, denouncing royalty to rabid raccoons. America is terrorizing herself from within and just expositioning to realize it is Roman Empire point two. No bewilderment here. Them old-timey Greek thinkers taught the US well. Even Aristotle justified proto-racism in his metaphysics 4 millennia prior, Columbus measling natives away, then naming them after Vespucci's family surname. This continental country is all a circus, and the Bubbas and Jessies all the way to the puissant politicians practice potent prejudice more powerfully than Beyonce's homecoming. 10,000 outlier hours is an IBAT for professionals, making 2020 CE feel more like 1921, 1865, 1776, 1619, 1492, 3000 BCE. Discrimination is enculturated in our cow milk and corn syrup, into our GI Joes and gasoline, into our insurance and algorithms, into our ABCs and Legos. We are more concerned with 6 feet under than apart. This militia nation is devouring and self-mutilating its own corpse, not looking not a day older than bigotry. Preserve your prejudice pancakes, reserve your racist rice grains, salvage your systemic statues. All we ask is for your bullets not to pray grace before cornmealing us into your praying plexus, that our applications are approved without advance interest, that we receive Washington's medical mindfulness minus the South's apartheid, that we are awarded the same education as Addis Ababa, Helsinki, and Ottawa, that we return home safely without our keys being perceived as lockpicks, where our 7-year youngins can actually kid themselves. Rupture your armor before causing a struck match. Your privilege will not save you from your own psychosis, your disgusting puke barrier, your own almighty's fire this time. Only then can we all become beauteous blue streak butterflies, saving this matriarchal mud before menacing Mars and function as the greatest coming of ages.
You have to unmute, Veronica.
Oh, I was talking to myself. Wow, that was a lot to take in. That was powerful. I don't even know how to describe it. It was awesome. Thank you.
So, as we are nearing the end, what is one thing that you would like to do to impact your community? Right? So, I'll toss it in that way. Whether it doesn't have to be through writing and speech, right? We know that that's one way that we can impact. We spoke about, Black Tulsa like they impacted their community just by being great and operating in their excellence, right? And so you can think about what is one thing that you would want to give back, and then maybe we can all share that one thing. And we would love to hear your voice, Tina, as well as Carolyn as well. I know that everyone's observing, but I think this is a nice place that we could all jump in at.
Well, we need to have more love, man. Love. We need to give back more love. That's what we need. Instead of hatred, I think love is the answer to everything.
Well, for myself, I am working on being more outspoken and more vocal about my faith and my hope in the Lord Jesus, and just to encourage other people, not so much to preach at people, but just to share the joy that I have because of my faith, and hopefully spread it around, kind of like what was just said, just to make a difference, make some kind of impact, and not just take up space, but to what I pray every day is that I can do something to make somebody smile, make them feel better. And I pray that I make my Father in heaven smile. Thank you for letting me share.
To piggyback off what Carolyn said, I think that's true. We need to love each other more, respect each other, help each other more, understand, give encouraging words and things. You'd be surprised. Just every day, you just do something nice, say something nice, encouraging to somebody. You would be surprised how that would change their day. You don't know what people are going through, but just a little, hello, you look great. Is there anything I could do for you? Things that we forget, the small things, really can have a big impact in, people's lives. So, and give more love and kindness to one another and the world.
I have one other thing to add on to that. Healing. We need to heal one another, especially if we have information to help one another. Just help out. Don't keep the secret. Don't keep the knowledge that you have. Pour it out to your community. You never know. You can heal someone, and that's also very, very important to me.
I think that part of the workshop today about being present and recognizing that you are the present, right, is part of that, right? Because once we recognize that we are gifted, right, then we know that our gifts are not just for ourselves, that they're meant to be given back into the world. And so, how do we pour, right? We do need to make sure that we are taken care of and that we are filling up this cup so that we can give from a place of abundance, but it's not meant for you to keep it, right? It's meant for it to be in the world, right? And so I think as much as I can share my gifts with the world, that's what I try to do. I try to truly hone into the fact that my gifts are not just solely for me, right? Therefore, I believe in God. So for me, it's the magnification of a higher being, right? Like we're meant to shine light and to be light. And so I do think it's really important that in everything that I do, that's a place that I come from. And then I will give you the last word, Stephen.
So first, I just want to acknowledge, like, I love all of what you all just said, and like, I kind of want to, like, you all like nailed it on the head, and I love the connection. So talking about Lloyd, love, joy, respect, understanding, healing, being present, being that light, like, and I was just thinking about being a light, not the lamp. You know what I mean? I think for me, in combination of all of those wonderful things that I've heard and I do agree with, is holding myself accountable to be a better individual each day. And I think by doing so that I will automatically become a form of inspiration for others to do that with themselves, and that, you know, interdependently we hold each other accountable, and just like that saying, good, better, best, never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. So I think for me, it's about holding myself accountable. I know there's certain things I got to work on. So for me, that's what I want to work on and bring to the table, and give that, because as said, believing in the Most High, Christianity, loving our neighbor, whether it's somebody next door or somebody in the middle of Nigeria, we're all neighbors of this world. But yeah, really holding myself accountable to be better and do better.
I would like to say thank you. At the end of all of my sessions, I always like to unmic. And can't hear me? So at the end of all my sessions, I like to say, if you want to unmic and give our thank yous before we head out, I love to give people their thank yous while we're here.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to take you up on that offer.
Yes, Stephen, drop your contact inside the chat. We also will send out a follow-up email with all the information, with all the presenters' information, but definitely grab the information. I think you should take him up on the offer. Tap into your inner spirit and like your belief in yourself. Like all of us, our voices are so powerful, and sometimes it is those stories that need to come to light, the ones that we are afraid to or think that we are not capable of doing. Those are the ones that probably really are needed and that the world is waiting for. So much love and light. Our next program starts at 4:30. I hope to see some of you there. We are moving into nutritional wellness. We're almost there. We got 2 more, nutritional and then spiritual. So see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bless you, Stephen. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.